This is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. And the bullshit stops here. Thanks for joining me tonight. If you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you happen upon this broadcast and you're not, go below that screen and hit this subscribe button because um, if people are going to say that you're just here to make money or try to beg people for money, let's make that happen. Let's grow this subscriber base so I can get tons of ad revenue so I can make a living off of this. Because according to some of you, I should not be here to do that. And according to what dictates my life as of right now, I'm not here to do that. I'm not saying that. Look, I would love to see the subscriber base grow to 10,000 or 1 million or anything, and I don't know. Whew, that's a large number, but I don't know. It's like the kid who plays college football. Every one of them kids believe they're going to make the NFL. Unfortunately, most of them will not. And part of that process is accepting the realities of the situation. So when people say bullshit like I'm just up here talking shit and begging for money, then that shit is really funny to me because it's like I'm not here to I'm not here to just have my hand out. Now if that's what people want to do, then I mean, if that's what people want to do, then I don't feel as if it's wrong if people want to do that thing. That's what the super chat is for. That's why the Cash App is scrolling across the screen. That's your choice if you want to do that. But for the people out there that's trying to make this uh, really huge, empty ass argument, that's that's all black men are here for. I would say that would be an unfair assessment. I mean, it's okay. We understand that in WS culture, and a lot of people don't like. Oh, that sounds defeated. You blame it the white man. You blame it the white man. But then want to turn around and use that as a reason as to why these black men are up here on this platform. You use the white man. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm just still kind of, you know, turned up from what happened in the chat last night. But at the same time, there's always this takedown of black men. It's always a takedown. It's always a dig. It's always a bullshit insult. You know, and it's gone from the lowest of us to the most prominent and most famous. And we understand we have all these people out here who are, you know, YouTube intellectuals, I would say, or these little smug Facebook sycophants, or these Twitter scholars that have all this to say about black men who were prominent in the media, such as Martin Luther King, will complain about that shit, try to destroy the man completely, and then turn around and try to assimilate to the same fucking media just because you want a certain archetype in position to be the one that is the example of what we look for in blackness. Now, both of those are false. Both facades are false, pretty much. You shouldn't be looking for any of that except for from black people. We have to start trying to love ourselves again. But anyway, I'm confused at how a lot of you move on this platform. Like you're not falling for the bullshit. Like you guys, what you try to do is you try to remove the white man and then say white women are a motivator, and you do all of this to just try to bring down brothers. You say all this mess just to bring down brothers. So let me stop for a second. let me take a few seconds. Let me talk about something else because I do admit I am a bit triggered. So, anyway, I hope everyone had a great start to their week. I'm sure most of you are off work because it's Martin Luther King's birthday. Um, Not a holiday to me that was ever celebrated for real. Um, I would say growing up, we had a Martin Luther King Day parade. Well, I don't know. As I got older, the narrative slipped away more and more, and then all these things, that you would. I mean, they at first they would start out as murmurs, and then the movie The Barbershop came out, where Cedric the Entertainer's character said Martin Luther King was a hoe, and then people started to dig deeper. Find out all kinds of things about Dr. King. Basically, they feel like Dr. King was just put up by the media to keep black people in a calm, docile place. Now, I have to ask this question: what would black people have done if there was not any uh, if there was no influence of Martin Luther King? What stopped black people outside of Martin Luther King? I mean, for everything that's being said about Martin Luther King, for everything that's being said about him, it would seem that black people did make the choice to follow him because black people keep blaming Martin Luther King for trying to disarm black people, to take up arms, to protect ourselves at least. But he preached a message of nonviolence. Everybody blames Martin Luther King for preaching a message of nonviolence. And then we further blame him by his indiscretions, which we found out about much later. So, you know, now I know why. I have to explain why I have this up on the screen. We was nakers. This is a word I want to turn on its head because I don't know. It came from a white woman, and it's not like it's a joke like we did with the word nigga, and we you know decided to take the word and make it our own, and carry the label, and all this other stuff. People calling themselves real niggas. Mm, I don't know. We know what it is. Social media algorithms don't know what it is yet, but I don't know. The word came from Allison Monroe. I think she was a sportscaster on ESPN, and she was speaking of Kobe Bryant and all his years he spent playing at the Los Angeles Niggers. I mean, it was straight up. She said niggers, and then it came out as knackers, and now we're saying nigger. I don't know. I don't know. It's people who usually claim they love black people and want to see things like racism put to an end, or black people win, or black power and black people first. They love using that word right there, maker. To put it, to put it quite frankly, Martin Luther King as an example. People just have a problem with black male leadership. Now I went from something ridiculous to something serious. Yeah, black people for the most part, have a problem with black male leadership, and they have a problem with black male leader figureheads. What if we stripped everything away about Martin Luther King? Okay, what if he didn't cheat on his wife? Then we'll still have a problem with the way he preached nonviolence. I would have to say this though: people had a choice to follow what they wanted to follow. In any time, in any time period. Like for real, we had that choice. So what we're doing is we're blaming one guy, and that's what we always do. We blame one guy for the failure of an entire people, if it was a failure. Because what would victory have looked like? None, and I'm willing to bet none of you have any kind of clue. What would victory have looked like if the civil rights movement was a failure? If I don't know, what would it mean that we would own all the corporations? We would control the government. We would control the water. We would control the food. Even white people don't control the food. I mean, they really think so. I mean, it's a result of the decisions of other white people and other races too, which include black. But y'all don't want to get into that conversation. Y'all just want to say shit off the top of y'all head, off the cuff, like David. Y'all just want to say all this foul, flagrant shit. You want to roll up all the troll talking points into one argument, and that's what you want to hit black men with. You have a problem with black male leadership, and you're using words like nakers to solidify that. Thank you for watching. Shit, and y'all, and you guys believe that's right. You know, I try not to use the word bitch, even though it's thrown at me by certain folks. You know, I'd rather be called by the name that I presented on this platform while I'm on this platform, Kev. Period. And I'll address you by your YouTube name. But words like naker and bitch, I do admit, are inappropriate. They are. It's sucks. And no, I'm not complaining about people being mean on the internet. It's just the simple fact is that we continue to make fools out of ourselves. I mean, a lot of you may think that yelling and cursing and acting like a screaming banshee it works and it makes you look like somebody who is a sensible person, but I don't know. In reality, it doesn't. It's quite immature, as a matter of fact. Now, if I'm not being condescending enough, um, shit, I'm not doing my job. But that's what it is. You know, words. I say words don't hurt, but I mean, words do carry meaning. And for what it's worth, the whole thing is, and this is what everyone has a problem with in the space, is people using words. Black men using words. So, what is my problem with the word naker? Okay, my problem with black people using the word naked. My only real problem is because a white woman came up with it. I mean, we always talking about these brothers who date out and everything, and that usually be central to conversations that all of these so-called intellects call themselves having. These brothers want to date white women. They want to SYSBM out of the country. I mean, yeah, let them talk that SYSBM stuff. And I mean, like, my whole thing is good luck with that. Good luck with that. What I look like trying to stop a sister from doing what she wants to do? I look like a weirdo. I would look like a weirdo. Seriously. Trying to push black men into doing something they don't want to do. That's more weirdo shit. or feel pressured because of narratives that are being pushed. But I have enough respect for my people, and as black people, to understand that you guys are going to make your own decisions. You know, I mean, if you want to complain about people who are saying whatever they want to say, and acting like it offends you, don't, don't, don't act like the same doesn't apply to us. When you go over there and cry and whine for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, I don't understand why we don't notice this. This is a problem. I'm not trying to put a stop to everybody's satiated need for drama. I'm not trying to put a stop to it. If you love drama, that's just what it is. But you're complaining. You're having all these dramatic sessions, and then you turn around and complain about what other people do on their channels. When you don't know the half on these guys, you got one show where 5 or 6 people got doxxed, and then you think you know all about these guys. And then you want to make all these assumptions based on whatever you see that is the worst in anything in society, and you try to stick that on black men as a collective because you see 1 or 2 videos done by guys. One might be a weirdo, but both of them telling the truth. I mean, we're all kind of weirdo. We all have a quality that's kind of weird to somebody. If you think you're cool with everyone, you live in an imaginary lifestyle. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about super weird. I don't believe that you just talk about the same thing every day. And there's a lot of channels that talk about the same thing every day. Black men ain't shit. You click on the video, it puts dumbass shit in your algorithm. They talk about the same shit day in and day out. In the chat, they talk about the same shit day in and day out, and nobody sees that. But like I was saying last night, black male spaces are the problem. Are you fucking kidding me? Everything in the world to take a black man down. Everything. And yes, if I dish it out, I can take it. Period. If I dish it out, I expect the same thing in return. But it's just the fact of the matter is, when you do it and you become adversarial and you do it about 20, 30 times a day, if one person says it to you, then all of a sudden it's, oh, you can dish it out, but you can't take it. What did I say in the first place? How did I start with you? How did any of these guys start with y'all? You started with them. There weren't that many channels in this space before. But the fact of the matter is, y'all keep pulling shit like getting dude shit shut down, and then using other forms of the media to say black men ain't shit. So there are going to be a few guys that step up on this platform and say what they got to say. And you can't be butthurt about it because y'all shit is everywhere and you pretend like you don't notice it. Y'all shit every motherfucking where. It's like, it's weird shit. It hurts my head actually. But I don't try to worry about it too much because I'm a black man and I expect this shit. Y'all calling dudes dusty nakers, but you're complaining about black men making toxic broadcast. You all complain about it. But yeah, y'all are the ones that's sitting up there calling for the deaths of black men, calling black men dusty nakers. No matter who, no matter who do, no matter who is doing what, it's just you create all these goalposts to move around. No matter who is doing what. If the guy's a lawyer, if the guy has a PhD, there's always something. And the funny thing is, you talk about black male spaces and how they refer to the women, but every time y'all come up with a solution, Every time y'all come up with a solution, every time y'all come up with a solution, it's always involving the silence of black men. All these magical solutions you expect these black men to come up with, and you don't have one yourself. None. You don't have any. None. Nada. Zilch. Zero. Oh, except for overthrow the government. Shit like that. That would make you a black identity extremist. Overthrow the government. Control the food, the land, the water. Build exercise facilities for black women. Give jobs to black women. It ain't never about uplifting black men. Everything always has to center around pleasing women. Instead of you pleasing your woman or concentrating on pleasing on your woman, you want black men you don't know to please the women who have clearly stated they don't respect the men. So we drop suggestions for other black men to improve themselves. And y'all still don't like it. Y'all always roll back to the women. Man, you just saying that because you don't get no pussy. It's always about if we don't make it about it, you make it about it. And I already said men are going to discuss women no matter what. And it's not going to stop women from discussing men. So everybody need to grow up, period. Everybody need to grow up and admit these are the conversations that you want. There's no need to act immature about it. There's no need to try to have all these little snarky takedowns of Martin Luther King every time his birthday comes up. That shit's disgusting at this point. Let the man die. He sacrificed himself. He died for it. He was executed. Would you die for what you believe? No, most of you wouldn't. That's a goddamn lie. Shit, all these black men dying around you because they wanted to lead. And the only thing you got to pay tribute to in 2022 is some disrespectful narrative that black men ain't shit. I mean, hell, that's kind of the responsibility of the people. Y'all always say the women are the way they are because of the men. Shit. What are you bringing into this world? How about a little self-reflection? What are you bringing into this world? What did your parents bring into this world? Are you willing to die on the hill of telling black men we ain't shit? Even if we die. Even if Martin Luther King dies, he ain't shit. He's not that leader. He was an insert. But he died for it. He's gone. That's it. All these black men who are dead, and y'all still going after them. Shit, they went after Michael Jackson, and all the physical evidence came out that proved his innocence. Shit, y'all trying to find ways to go after Prince. I seen them light-skinned nigga memes. Shit, Will Smith. Will Smith is about destroyed. Hell, y'all done went after Richard Pryor. You done went after Paul Mooney. You go after all these prominent black men, and then you go after the black men who talk about what happened to the prominent black men. And you reduce it to some ain't shit narrative. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? There's a problem that we as men need to work on. If we want to really find the solutions, we will get to the problem. We will get to the bottom of the problem's nature instead. I know that didn't sound quite clear. I wanted that to come out another way. And I can huff and I can puff. And I can say it with my chest. But that's just what it is. It's like, I know that, I can't ever hope for a prominent position among the thought of black people because from the way I see it, for most black men, it's not going well. People want to hear this impossible shit. They want to hear a black man say, "I leaped this tall building in a single bound." I mean, it's like the standards that you set for black men are godlike standards. And I get that. And I get that. And it's because of discussions you don't like. It's not because of anything tangible based in reality. None of that shit. What's the first steps to attaining power? Have you ever asked anybody that question? What is the first steps to attaining power? Or are you able to answer that? Shit. Most of y'all don't want the answer. Most of you don't. You just want to get up on your little high horse and shit on folks. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther the King. Like, I don't know, man. I guess I was just one of those ones that grew up with the notion that Martin Luther King was some great person. And he was. Anyone that compelling, that are able to capture the hearts of people, that is a talented person. Like I said, just like all these famous celebrities, they were able to capture your hearts. And when they die, depending on the way they die, it does something to you. Hell, Michael Jackson and Prince were shocking to me. I mean, I don't consider them leaders exactly, but they were black men that found their way into mega success, but they're gone. Think about that. It's a, it just seems like it's just a path of destruction. It's it's by design, and on top of it being by design, a lot of us as black men are allowing a lot of this destruction. You know, it's true. I mean, I can't lie about that. I can't. I mean, and I'm not doing this because people have this impression like I let black men off the hook, because I don't. I just understand that you motherfuckers ain't looking at all of the variables. You take you take the things that you want to say and take the things out that are true that you don't want to say. And I think that a lot of people are like that. But let's get one thing straight. Let's get one thing straight. I don't think any of you have it in you to make the sacrifices that people like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King made. I don't think any of you can do that. Find one thing you can do in your life, you can do it for. All of those zealots over in that B1 space, I bet you none of them would die for whatever they're saying. None of them. Not one. Because they know it's bullshit. Dr. King died for it. Well, but now, what he died for, that's a different story. That's a different story. What he died for, that was a different story. We all have our perceptions about that. He died being a puppet for the white man. We love these conspiracy theories. He died because he was murdered. That's the one important thing that we need to understand about Martin Luther King. He died because he was murdered. He died because they killed him. And do I think everybody involved had a pale skin color? No. I wish I knew screen record technology. back in 2015. But when I saw that video, it was like it was shocking to actually see something like that. See that preacher that said that he talked with Martin Luther King one last time, and then the last thing he said. Now he was old. Now he was about 70 or pushing 80. So any secrets they were trying to hide, their brains go a little awry. So it'll be a short circuit, and then he say something he ain't supposed to say, and that's just the process of death, basically. Sometimes it takes years, sometimes it takes months. But, you know, the guilt had to been eating him up some kind of way. This man finished off, well, at least that's where the video stopped, saying that, and I moved so they could get a clear shot. And this is talking about him talking with Martin Luther King on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel. I can't prove it, but that's the video I saw. It wasn't doctored up. I did the research back then, but I can't remember who it is. You know. Now, for the black leadership, the entrenched black male leadership that all of you complain about in 2022 with tears coming out your eyes, as you do your little broadcast or big broadcast, because there's a lot of us blacks that are derelict at this point. And I love my people, but goddamn. I can understand you're not co-signing with people like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. I can understand that. People like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Al Roker. Shoot. I met Jesse Jackson. Well, kind of met him. Jesse Jackson acts like a celebrity. He acts like a straight celebrity with his nose up in the air. So it's all for show with men like that. Don King. Everybody called Don King crooked, but I believe a lot of us would have done the same thing Don King did. We'd have justified it in our heads because we'd have came out on the winning end. Clarence Thomas. The only thing you're going to ever look at Clarence Thomas about is, some of us who are old enough will remember that sexual harassment, lawsuit that Anita Hill filed on him when he first tried to get in. But, everybody wanted him a man, so he won the case and he became a Supreme Court justice. And he probably did what a lot of other black people would have did in his position. Everybody talks that shit, but the only thing that you're going to look at about Clarence Thomas is his wife. And the fact, like I said, the fact that, for feminists now, the fact that he beat a woman in a sexual harassment case. We're not supposed to like Clarence Thomas. That was just an understanding of the general populace of blacks. Shit. Bill Cosby. That's a hot button with a lot of people. Because they used to party hard back in the day. I've said that. Everybody's like, well, what about the victims? What victims? It's about the people that party with them. Now, any kind of forced touching, that's wrong. That's wrong. But I'm saying you'll be researching for days if you knew the level of what was going on back in that day. But Bill Cosby had the nerve and the audacity to bring a positive black culture to television and mainstream media. Yep. I'll be checking them comments in a second. I didn't want to get distracted. Bill Cosby. Yeah, we took him down good. A few women accused him of stuff they couldn't prove, or they didn't have to have proof of, and there you go. There you go. Forget everything he's done that's positive. Being a philanthropist and donating millions to HBCUs. So he donates millions to HBCUs. You would figure that we at least owe him the floor if he has anything to say. And what he said, a lot of people didn't like. And because of that, Bill Cosby. We didn't suppose like, we're not supposed to like Bill Cosby. And then all that stuff came down in that scandal. Now I'm not gonna come up here with some Hotep conspiracy and say that he was trying to buy NBC. That's why they took Bill Cosby down. Although it's not that far fetched, I have no evidence of that. But how dare he brings a positive black image to television? A lot of people were mad at Bill Cosby for doing that, but also Bill Cosby was the one that tried to shut out the comics of Def Comedy Jam. People like D.L. Hughley, who was maybe for the first half of his career was funny, but he wasn't funny for the sec. Like from Kings of Comedy on up, D.L. Hughley was not funny, and then he became a political pundit. That at first he was with the shits, but then it just seemed like virtue signaling. I did like the fact that he went in front of Megyn Kelly and said racism doesn't exist in the police department in Fox News. You know, because black men are supposed to be humble and defeated when they get around their almighty white women's. But you saw an example on the media of D.L. Hughley taking down a white women's. But we don't remember stuff like that. Y'all complaining about Kanye West now. If Kanye West, you know, Kanye West, he's off his rocker right now. But why are y'all so mad because he upstaged a white girl? Black people were very upset with. And this is when he first started to digress and, you know, became Trump's son and divorced Kim K. Before all of that, he upstaged Taylor Swift for a black woman. Beyonce, you got the greatest record of all time. Yeah, it was a crazy move. And, the information could have been far reaching because, that means that you competing with Thriller, you competing with Purple Rain, joints such as that. You know what I mean? But for the majority of us back then, we hated that Kanye West did that to that poor white woman, a conservative white woman, Taylor Swift, in defense of a black woman's talent. No, we didn't see it that way back then. I see it that way. I see what Kanye was trying to do. And although it was ill advised, even Jay Leno checked him. And black people were talking about bravo. This shit's funny to me. Jay Leno checked Kanye, and black people thought that it was awesome. Mm. Man, us is funny. Despite what you think about Kanye now, Kanye still upstaged one of them in front of the world. I'm just trying to make a point here. is that? I don't know, brothers. We got to get it together. Fuck all that HNIC bullshit. Hold on 1 second. Let me do something real quick. Stephen A. Smith, Roguish Son says Stephen A. Smith. What's going on? Wild Bill. What's going on? I'm not here to gender bang. I'm just saying it's just that's the environment that is being created for us as black men. They're trying to gender bang us, and we see it happening to black men every day. And until we have a very, very mature conversation about it, then it's going to be this way. You can't say stuff like, I don't know, heal or die, and that's what the situation is. So I put the link in the chat. If anybody tries any funny shit, if they can find a way to get through that overlay, hell, you deserve to see that shit. So let me see who's in the chat. All right, all right. R.P.M. Toya's son. Somebody I'm about to block. uh, BGS, what were our choices? I don't know. I forgot at what point in the conversation that was. But if BGS is here, he can, remind me. Sam Sample, Judgezilla the Beast. I prefer to be called the Ayatollah of rock and roller. Um, Sam Sample, the following King had versus Malcolm was the perfect conundrum for White to deal with. Elongo Savage, Jonathan Morgan, what's going on? Oh, somebody else I got to block. Someone hasn't done it already. Okay, somebody's already done it. I am the Green Lantern Power Lamp of Cool. KC from KP from KC5. Jonathan Morgan, we were talking about guys doing this or women. Yeah, Sir Anthony, $10 super sticker. Thank you very much for your support. Roguish Son, peace to the white women who fight WS. Viola Gregg Leezu. She was a civil rights worker who was a white woman who transported black civil rights workers from north to the south. One day, while on the side of the road due to car trouble, a car full of white men pulled up next to her and blew her brains out. Yep. This is this is this happened during that failed civil rights movement that all of these YouTube scholars try to you know sit there and say they understand and know. Uh oh. All right, block that person. Jesse Jackson acts like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith will virtue signal, but when it really comes down to it, he will try to avoid the conversation. Like we'll steer it somewhere else. He also is infamous for being super hard on the black athletes while being super easy on white athletes, like, talking about Kyrie Irving as opposed to talking about Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Stephen A. Smith is softer on white athletes, and that it's something that needs to be called. That's when I say stuff like black men aren't perfect. I'm not sitting up here pretending like all brothers are all encompassing and you know just the greatest motherfuckers ever. So Wild Bill. I love white women. They're gonna get mad with me for displaying that. They are never mad at black women for marrying white women. They're never, ever. Yeah, and I mean that's just what it is. Um, yeah, it just like recently with Alfonso Ribeiro. Says black women brag about Serena Williams and Eve. Yes, they do. But let me say it like this: those talking points are about as old and as dragged out as a lot of the other talking points that a lot of us complain about. Raven Knight, the ratchet women acted more like the clan Kev. I wouldn't need 304s and making hoods with weave and the length of their lashes determine rank. Man, wow. Mm, Wild Bill. We have to fight back verbally. Yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. We have to fight back, but we have to fight back sensibly. Saying fuck you 18, 19 times to a person ain't really fighting back. That's okay, Rogish. There's a lot of unfortunate things that happen on these broadcasts, but it's all good. It's all good. Rogish, let me ask you a question though. You can type it in the chat. What do you think of last night's shenanigans? Do you think I handled it well? Do you think? I mean, and don't say it for my own personal benefit and my own feelings. I mean, I'm in no way, shape, or form hurt by it. In fact, I thought it was extremely funny because if you're such a big boy, you have to come over here and pick on little old me. Infantry skills. What's going on? Infantry skills. All right, drop them facts on us. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So let's just like I said, let's just appreciate. Let's take time to appreciate all of the black men who sacrificed themselves so we can come up here just to get disrespected. See something real quick. Hold on. Hmm. Mm. All right. Yeah. 18 watching. Let me see how many likes I got. Hey, make sure if you're here, that you definitely press the like button. The algorithm likes, and it's likes are for free. Likes are for free. Don't act like it isn't. So just hold on. And also, if you are a new or recent sub, thank you for subbing the channel. I really appreciate it. Oh shit, I haven't even monetized this. I got 25 likes. Thank you very much. Very good. Very good ratio. There we go. Rogish son, I think you did well with him. The fact that he chose to ride in the chat as long as he did showed that he really wasn't prepared for any smoke when he got up on the panel. He never got up on the panel though. He was offered to get up on the panel. So he could have said all that shit he could have said verbally, and That's just what it is. I know him to be a very disrespectful person, and here's what I'll take credit for. I invoked a lot of that while we were on Facebook. No, he is right about one thing. Uh, he is right. He is right about one thing. Yeah, we have definitely exchanged on Facebook. Uh, Petway boy, what happened? We had a visit last night from Taz because I wanted to make the subject matter how mammies and pick me's and the whole mammy thing is a racist stereotype against black women. And Mr. Tazar accused me of hating black women, or oh, you're protecting black women now, and started doing his all typing in all caps, and like oh my god, he's typing in all caps, that means he's screaming. I was supposed to react that way. And he debates and argues like everything he says is just absolutely true, and I don't fall for big BS like that. So I don't know. I I just let it roll. You know, I just let it roll. He is who he is. I am who I am as well. If and when he got up on the panel, yeah, well, he didn't get up on the panel. I guess he felt like he was too big. He was too big a star, or whatever. But I will say this. I will say this. I tune in to his broadcast just to see if his point of view can in any way, shape, or form make sense. And I don't get much of that when I tune into his broadcast for the 1 or 2 minutes that I can put up with it, because it's a bunch of ratchet, loudmouth people. And I feel like we over here on this channel, we should be above all of that. You know, I always understood that we are people that like to see dramatic shit go down, and let's look. In order for your channel to functionally work, you have to be somewhat entertaining. If you are a boring person that's just on here yelling, screaming, and cursing, then it's not going to work. And I saw that last night. I was watching this guy's broadcast, and he seemed pretty angry and spicy. And then he had another dude come up on the panel, and is like, if you have insomnia, that was definitely the cure. My thing is like, I'm not saying that to be smug, but you have to be somewhat entertainment in order to keep people fixed on your broadcast. I was just interested in saying it because it was like what he was saying is because it was just, I knew the guy, and I might have had something to do with his miserable rant, because I don't pull any punches on other platforms. It's like, it is what it is. I know what situation I'm in as a black man. So if you, and I recommend this for any black man, if you come out and you directly disrespect me, or you are directly disrespected, let them have it. Let them have it. It's like, people who disrespect you, they no longer have the privilege of having a person that is nice to them. I mean, and think about it. How does those people take disrespect? No, not very well at all. You know, what happened was, I invited a female, a black woman, to come and speak on my panel last night. She is Celebrity D from the Celebrity Podcast, but she has a very popular following on Facebook. So I invited her to share her experience on what she has to deal with from other women, black women. And she says she gets called a pick me, she gets called a mammy, she gets threats in her inbox where she has to take serious action. And that didn't sit well with Taz. I mean, on top of already popping off in the chat because I'm fighting against the mammy pick me narrative, he gets really, really angry with celebrity, trying to pop, saying, asking her if she was married. Yes, she's married. She's been married for over a decade. She's been married longer than I've been married. And her husband is a stand up dude. So she speaks on her experiences, and you know, B1 Logic. They really hate that shit. They really hate that shit when black women actually talk to black men like they have some sense, like black men have some sense in particular. You know, because a sensible black woman knows how to talk to black men with sense, with some kind of sense. And believe it or not, there is a following of people who are against that. They are against black men and black women coming to any peaceful resolution because that's the basis of their content. And I'm here to say that people can do what they want to do. If they want to make the basis of their content always running down black men, always trying to put out bad narratives of men who are otherwise referred to as leaders, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., then there are going to be black men who are going to respond to it. There are going to be there are going to be black men that will even go as far as to disrespect you for being disrespectful toward black men. See, people like Dr. Martin Luther King didn't believe in that. He didn't believe in dealing with situations like that. But I kind of do, because I don't believe in pacifying anybody that disrespects me. I don't believe in pacifying anybody that disrespects black men on the regular as a mode of operation. Even if it's pandering to your large subscriber base, it's still bullshit. And, and to sit up here and act like black men can't say anything, black men don't have a position, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. You're treating somebody like they're fucking crazy. I know how to walk off. If you're disrespecting me, I know how to walk off. But where that becomes a problem is that you're following behind me screaming. I always use that analogy. Black men are men that can walk away from it because we've always have. That's why black people react to black men so badly when we speak like this. Black men walk away, but the idiot we're trying to get away from is following us screaming. So at that point, what are we supposed to do? Just take it? I mean, and that's a lot of people's suggestion. Is that we take it? I mean, you don't have to. We don't have to sit there and whine about it though. That I mean, whatever you want to do, we ain't got to sit there and whine about it. That's just like me coming up here and say they won't let us say anything. What do we do? I'm doing what we're supposed to do. Call out the bullshit. It ain't got nothing to do. I mean, if you're a guy out here and you got a kid that you're not taking care of because you don't want to, you are watching the wrong channel. If you're one of those guys, if you're one of those guys, and then even then, I can't really stop you from watching. But I'm not saying that I'm not saying that a guy like you who's not taking care of your child is a righteous person and should be in spaces telling people what to do. But even you, if you are have a child that you're not taking care of, that doesn't give anyone the right to disrespect you. Prepper 101, what's going on? That doesn't give anybody the right to disrespect you. It doesn't. You never want to put anyone in the position to call you a pussy, and it actually be right. Shoot, oh, I'm not saying I'm not gonna let nobody do it. You shouldn't let nobody do it to you either. Yeah, I dropped a news story, so definitely go to my channel and check it out. I'm gonna start doing more news stories from now on. I do enjoy. It's like telling stories that happen for real has its own intrigue. I'm saying like with local news stories, giving my own little take on it. That shit is fun. Being able to edit videos, and that's what we do in this space. Everything is, yeah, yeah. If my suggestion for you who hear negative things about the Black Manosphere, come to the Black Manosphere and listen to the Black Manosphere. I'll give you a channel to watch. Uh, and the channel is named Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Yeah, yeah, people like, to break down a woman's perspective. She'd say, oh, you God, he brought up a woman's name. This is a Black Manosphere. Nah, Sister George and me are cool. Habitual line steppers. The Roger Report, watch him too. Bernard Riley, watch him. Bernard Riley is a proud rep of the Black Manosphere. You know, Dr. Tia Son Johnson, Dennis Sperling Unfiltered, O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea Duke Jackson is entertaining. The reason why I'm saying these names is because they're black men. And I believe that the majority of black men on this platform did not come up here to take black women down. Some of you may disagree, and you know that's okay. But I assure you that most of y'all are on some bandwagon shit, and you're just too lazy yourselves to do the research. So that's not a matter to me. That doesn't matter to me. And yes, I did drop that link, so anybody could have come up and said anything they want, especially the people who call themselves being pissed off with, people like me and, some of the other guys in the space. Whatever you got to project, come up, come on up. Petway Boy, Black Manosphere literally changed my whole mindset from 2020 up until now. Taught me a lot of stuff I didn't know about us melanated folks in the history of this country. Yeah. And that doesn't sound like women, 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 women. All they can talk about is women. That doesn't sound like that. So, you know, thank you for the good word. Man, who are these spam broadcasters? The man is named his. I can't even. It's all consonants. Oh, except for the U at the end. But yeah. Let me check out something real quick. Yeah. See. So hopefully everybody's, like I said, everybody's doing good on Dr. King's birthday. And he pushed his message of nonviolence. Why are y'all so angry because he pushed a message of nonviolence? Because, like I tried to establish earlier, he could have, I mean, no, you could have been violent all you wanted. You didn't have to listen to Martin Luther King. Now, let me talk about why I got that bottle of hot sauce up there in the picture. Look, I understand that a lot of you might not be welcoming of the idea of Drake putting hot sauce in a condom full of semen. According to the story, after Drake had sex with this promiscuous woman, because I mean, if you're having sex outside of the confines of marriage, and is we can say, whatever woman hooks up with Drake that way, that would try to impregnate herself with his semen, that is a very promiscuous woman trying to make a come up. But what Drake does is Drake puts hot sauce in the condom where his semen deposited, because he just busts it down, and they're in the throes of passion, and he skeets, which probably could have happened all in the span of 2 minutes. And he puts hot sauce in the condom. So this lady tries to impregnate herself. This promiscuous woman tries to impregnate herself with this man's semen, and she ends up burning her insides. I mean, like, it's like if he'd used ghost pepper sauce, then that shit right there. But here's the thing: a lot of people think that it's sick and it's sadistic, and how dare this? I mean, my question will always be, why is she trying to put this man's semen in herself in the first place without his knowledge? And the mere fact that she tried to get over on that man that way, to try to get pregnant, that says a lot about her. So what I will say is, the people who feel like that, they're mad with Drake because he pulled that, or he could have did it some other kind of way. Like, I kind of agree with this. He could have just took the condom with him, you know, and discarded it elsewhere, or set it on fire or whatever. Shit. Why would, like, the mere fact that she did that, she deserved everything she got. Period. Because all she was gonna do was use that baby to try to get child support from this man for the next 18 years. Oh, he's a successful superstar. I'm gonna get millions of dollars. Everybody be like, what if it was a friend of yours? What? I hate the whole "what if it's your daughter" thing. My daughter is 7. I'm not gonna even entertain something like that. But somebody came at me like that. What if it was? I mean, what if it was somebody you loved? Here's my controversial response to that. I hope it teaches them a lesson, because you did that clearly to get over on that person, and hopefully the damage isn't permanent, because that's some foul, shady shit. And you know what? Hey, I'm guilty of laughing. I am. I thought the shit was funny. Still laughing about that shit. Petway boy. The length that these chicks will go just to get pregnant is beyond me. LOL. Was it like this back then, Kev, or is this something new? Y'all didn't think the pandemic would bring this on? Y'all late. Man, they been trying to do this shit. Man, you don't remember that MTV special where they was talking to them video vixens? I think Superhead was on that special too. But Cameron was on that special, and he was talking about that these groupies and these females would take turkey basters and try to get the semen out of the condom to impregnate themselves. There's a story where this lady actually impregnated herself with I think it was like a young millionaire. Let me see. Woman, let me see if I can look it up real quick. Raven Knight has been like that since the 90s. I mean, once they figured it out, they had that game on lock. All right, just one moment. Let's see. Turkey baster method. They have a case. Night shit. Raven Knight. I found a story in 1993. Man, there's so many stories. Let me put this on the screen. Let me put this on the screen. Let's just look up this kind of stuff. Like I said, I ain't got no sympathy for this woman. I mean, y'all may say this evil. That's evil of me. That's evil of me to not have sympathy for that woman who burn her insides with hot sauce because, let's see, Drake. You just look up Drake. Let's see. Did he really say it? Let me share the screen, y'all. I said, did he really say that? Oh God, I should have made a video out of this. I mean, I'm about a week late though. So it says Instagram model acute. Oh God, I hate when them ads pop up like that. Where? Come on now, get out. There it is. It says Instagram model accuses Drake of. God damn! I don't want to go to Walden University. I don't want to go. All right. Instagram model accuses Drake of putting hot sauce inside of a condom, and he seemingly responds, "You can have your 15 minutes of fame." Okay, so let me see. The model claims that the self proclaimed certified lover boy born Aubrey Drake Graham, who cares? We know, just say Drake, added a packet of hot sauce into a used condom in order to kill his sperm after the two had sex. After he disposed of the condom, she took it out of the trash and attempted to impregnate herself inside of the bathroom, not realizing what it contained. And they got Drake taking a light skin photo as I scroll, and it said the Roman revealed the accusations to the Too Much Hot Tea blog, saying that after she screamed due to the burning sensation. Champagne Pappy, as he's known on Instagram, ran into the bathroom and allegedly admitted to pouring hot sauce in the condom. You probably was pointing at her and laughing at his ass. Yeah, that's what you get, bitch. You actually tried to do this. You actually tried this. So, says right here. Says right here. This is, oh God. People are stupid. Says right here, though it's an unusual way to try to prevent pregnancy, the Canadian crooner, yeah, he's a crooner, previously complained about having to go above and beyond to ensure that women won't collect his sperm. Now, how far from the truth is that? It's not. It's not. And then the mere fact that she tried it, the mere fact that she tried it is evidence that yeah, he might have took the best precaution that was necessary for him. Not it's not the best. Let me tell the truth. It's not the best. He should have took it with him. He should have just took it with him to ensure it. But that shit's classic. That shit's classic. I mean, that sounds like that's gonna be a trend. But you know what? You know what good it could do? It could tell these hoes not to try that shit no more. Once they give it up to these superstars, which they're doing it with the intention of getting pregnant. Like these women are getting pregnant because they want to get pregnant. Believe that, and this is evidence. Even if you bring over a condom, if you leave the nut inside the condom, hey, she may be showing up there at the door with a baby, and that method does work. Although, albeit like they don't have much of a window. R.P.M. agrees. Yeah, he should have taken it with him. Raven Knight. Another scam is when you give the female money for the abort, she then takes off and then comes back after the child is born and saying she changed her mind. Wow. See, here's the smart thing for brothers to do. Just don't run up in her unprotected. And always take the condom with you, or destroy the condom, or flush it down the toilet, or rinse it out if you that special kind of person. But it's so many things those brothers can do to prevent the stupidity. Look at this hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. I always flush the condom down the toilet. If the chick says it ruins the plumbing, then I'll take it with me. So you ask first? Yeah, okay. Hey, I'm finna. Is it okay if I flush this condom down the toilet? Yeah, it really. You're not supposed to be flushing condoms down the toilet anyway, because you can ruin the septic tank. Just like it's just like flushing things like kitty litter. You can't flush things like that either. Or flushing wipes. You can't flush wipes either. And I knew it. I knew it was coming. 1,800 black abortions a day. So, damn. The bald eagle, she ain't even got to tell these women to do it. They doing it anyway. Raven Knight, men have got to be careful with their seed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stop making bad dick decisions. They turn that nut into payday, even if they find it on the ground. I caught me doing it several times. I mean, if you don't live there, I guess you ain't got to worry about that septic tank, but still. Like, brothers, just please make smarter decisions because, they will do anything to take you down. Anything, And you know what, though? Y'all don't need me to tell y'all to do it. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about shit like that? If you get past 30 and you don't have a child, they start to call you gay. Let's see. Let's see. All right. I think I'm about done with this broadcast. I think I'm about done with this broadcast. But, like I said, I did drop the link. Mm, I get Raven Knight, LMA, facts. They look at you strange because you made good decisions. It didn't fall for the WAP. Mm, I don't know. Just, like I said, we should start purposely pushing some messages like marry before you carry. And I mean, like, same thing for brothers, man. Don't shoot up in them unprotected if you're not married, because that could be a disaster because they're not even trying to raise these kids. They're not, and then they want to blame us for it. Dudes that they didn't make the kids with, just because they're frustrated with the dudes they did make the kids with. You know, hybrid catastrophic impact X 83rd power. Whenever they try to shame me, I laugh and ask them, "What do you have against gay people?" Let me tell you something. That barely works, but that is smart, but it barely works. You know why? Because there's nobody to call out that kind of homophobia. I mean, you can do it as a black man, but as I said before, WS culture dictates that you as a black man are not respected. So that in that way, they can say anything they want to you. R.P.M. They'll call you gay for anything nowadays. I've been called gay because I don't. What? Because you don't wear skinny jeans? What kind of madness is that? That's like they saying they call you gay because you don't wear pink. That's almost like the same thing. Hybrid says they just mad you ain't fall victim to the plantation. True. Facts. Orlando's. Why give them a kid to neglect? Exactly. Exactly. Which is the point that they ain't trying to raise these kids. They keep saying abort the black male babies, and they'll say some shit like they're killing us at these alarming rates, but won't say something to the mothers of these kids as like why don't you not raise your child to be a little asshole that harms and kills people. Yeah. But I will say this, black men, we have to decide where we stand on the abortion issue. I mean, you can't just be mad at Cynthia G for saying abort black male babies, which is very malicious, and then turn around and tell a woman, well, you got two choices, adoption or abortion. I used to say that shit all the time. Oh, it's hard to take care of this kid by myself. I said, well, you had two choices, adoption or abortion. Give him up for adoption. He'll have a better chance with the system, likely, since y'all make all these excuses. Hybrid catastrophic X impact X 83rd power says when you're not a part of the go along get along gang, they hate it. Yep. And it can come from the people that are closest to you. And R.P.M. agrees. Petway boy, I remember telling this one chick I never went raw, and she looked at me like I was an alien. Why? That's, I mean, here's what it is. This is why a lot of brothers, now sensible brothers, say this as well. Although you have mostly dickheads saying this. This is why these brothers say do not argue with these chicks because they operate on that kind of logic. I respect women enough to know they can put up a discussion. And if I disagree with something, I can say I disagree with it and tell them why I disagree with it. But if they want to sit up there and continue the exchange, then the argument is on them. But that's why you don't argue with chicks, because of that logic right there. Shoot, and why you want to raw dog these chicks? Like, look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We just got through talking about pregnancy. There's also STDs out there. These chicks out here burning niggas. An STD is no more to me than paying for the sins of someone else. Yeah, at the time I mean, nobody really wants an STD, but you know how you can get it through unprotected sex. Shoot, you yeah, we always talk about pregnancy and shit. Well, let's talk about STDs, herpes, which is from what I can tell, is an ugly STD, just from the pictures that I've seen. I like that shit is terrifying. That shit is fucking terrifying. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. 45% of BW have genital herpes. 25% of WW have genital herpes. It's almost normalized. Proportionately, yeah. I mean, but since white women are supposedly a larger population, they would probably actually dwarf black women in the actual number. No, I don't know. I don't know, but still, proportionately speaking, our women are higher than white women, and that is horrible. R.P.M. Our woman. I'm sure you meant our women have the highest rate of STDs too. Yeah, you know who has the lowest rate of STDs of all the groups? Heterosexual black men. People used to hate when I used to say that. I say heterosexual black men have the lowest rate of STs. And then they always like the highest number. The highest number, I believe, are gay black men. The highest number of new cases is gay black men. The lowest number of new cases is straight black men. The argument that bitter feminine black females would hit me with is they're still black men. You mean to tell me that you don't include them as black men? I was like, well, those are two totally different lifestyles. One sleeps with strictly women, one sleeps with men and you. That's where y'all getting all these STDs from. Y'all get with these old feminine bussy boys and I mean, yeah, when they started to call you gay, that means that they probably had an issue with a with a man of theirs back in the day. Yeah, shit. Like I said, one of them one of them become unlucky. One of them will become unlucky, and then they come on social media spouting that black men are gay. Let's like I said, that homophobia is not dealt with by the culture of WS that we all live under. But let's not make it about them, or they're gonna call you a phobe. But that's the fact of the matter. They like I said, like I said, they getting all these STDs from guys that love busting some. Nah, let me stop. Hell, and then a lot of them talk about they be fooling with the white dudes, and the white dudes they will slip back and forth. I had one dude try to convince me that it's natural for men to do that. I'm like, you got your ever loving fucking mind. I ain't co-signing to no shit like that. But they always talk about how superior these white boys are. When let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's one thing when sisters come up here and try to establish in through some horrible use of circumstantial evidence that white men are somehow superior. And a lot of them are saying that just because they're petty and they don't have a black man that's willing to be under their boot. But when a black man does it, when a black man comes up here and say, "Hey, the white boys this and the white boys and that, and y'all niggas don't know what the hell y'all doing," and like, but they do, like, white male worship when it comes from a black man is fucking pathetic. It's like that dude on 12 Years a Slave. Like, he was talking all that shit to Solomon Northup, the main character. And as soon as he saw his master, he ran up to his master like a little boy that saw his father. I don't know how many of y'all had the stomach to watch 12 Years a Slave. I made myself watch it one time. It was, ugh, ugh. But I remember that scene in particular. You got these dudes that'll sit up there just to be petty toward black men and and worship white men in front of you. That's what Taz did last night. That's what Taz did last night. Sat up there and saying, "Oh, the white boys could have the courage to discuss that, y'all." Like, and I hate that shit. Y'all act like these white dudes ain't sitting up here discussing some of this same shit. Shit's ridiculous. I mean, some of them are even worse, and some of them are even whinier with it. Because I mean, with people like Brie Larson hitting them over the head with this whole white male insecurity stuff. Yeah, shoot, Brie Larson been hitting them over the head with that stuff about the insecure white male, and she was saying, she said straight up, "I'm talking about white men when I talk about this stuff." They've been complaining about that shit ever since. Like they have some kind of position in America that gives them a disadvantage, and that's a fucking joke. But then you got all these people coming to their rescue and shit. It was okay if they discuss it. The white man's ice is colder. Oh, the white boys be talking about some real stuff. The white manosphere, I can connect with them. And they be talking about the same shit, some of the same stuff that we talk about. But see, y'all look at white people as better. Well, I ain't saying y'all who watching in particular, but those people know who they are. But anyway, I think I'm finna go ahead and quit this broadcast. Look, rest in peace to the late great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We use this day to commemorate his birthday. However you feel about Dr. Martin Luther King, know this: he sacrificed his life for what he believed in. And as I said to you guys, would you sacrifice your life for what you believe in? Another question is what you believe in. So, I mean, just think about that for a moment. Raven Knight, look at these comments on the way out. Bree is a cock tease, and Marvel has already put her out to pasture. She never read up on what happens to her character. Ugh. Yeah, they probably gonna have Rogue take her out since they ain't gonna introduce the X-Men. But for true comic book readers, we'll know what you will learn, or we already know the significance of Carol Danvers to the mutant Rogue. So I think a lot of people look forward to see something happen like that happening in the MCU. But oh, hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. MLK would be disappointed if he saw what the black community is like today. Yeah, I think Malcolm X would be disappointed too. They always use they always use that saying, about, the black woman being the most disrespected, the most unprotected. And that's all they care about coming from Malcolm X. Yeah, I think Malcolm X would renege that statement. So let me take care of these folks real quick. And thanks to everyone that tuned in today. Really appreciate you for hanging in there with me. And like I said, rest in peace to Martin Luther King. And I'm out. In Kev We Trust. Till the next time. Oh, guys, for those of you who are still watching, I got a dislike, so I'm gonna end the broadcast with this. And thank you for watching.
Now I'm feeling objectified.